Hey guys, I'm Lars from TC, and this is the Eon string sustainer that I'm holding. And I just wanted to give you guys some tips on using a string sustainer. The first thing is the strings. Not all strings are created equal, and the string that you're playing with, or the string that you're using on your guitar with a string sustainer, has to be out of a material that is magnetic. So it has to be like steel strings on an acoustic guitar, steel strings on an electric guitar. Some strings are nickel plated, some strings are coated. I mean, and some are pure nickel, some are cobalt alloy, some are, various types. Nylon strings do not work. So if you feel that the string sustainer doesn't really work with your strings, try a different set of strings or different guitar with different strings on it. That's one thing to think about. The second thing is the setup of the guitar. If you have a really low setup, when you start sustaining a string, the amplitude of the string will be large, so it may start hitting against the frets. So maybe a guitar with a slightly higher action will be preferable. Maybe if you have a guitar that you use for sliding, that would be the optimal guitar to use with a string sustainer, maybe, Think about things like that. A different thing is, or the third thing is, the string guide that we have made. We've designed it so that once it's rested against the neighboring strings, there is a height from the string up to the coils that actually sustain the string. So I'm turning it on now. So when you push it down, you can push it down towards the string to get the string started. And when you pull it back up, you can sort of control the amplitude or the power that you're transferring to the string. So you can have you can start it. And by holding it at a certain distance, you can sustain the string without it sort of overdriving or buzzing or anything like that. If you push down harder towards the string, you start getting a bigger amplitude, and then you start hearing buzz, like in this instance, fret buzz, and also buzz from the string hitting this string guide. The string guide has been designed to use with electric guitars mainly. The string spacing on an acoustic guitar can be different, larger string spacing, which makes this product a little bit more difficult to use, and especially also on bass, where the strings are further apart, it can be difficult. Also, bass strings are heavier and can be more difficult to get started, but my experience is if you use the thinner strings on the bass, it's easier to use the Eon on those. The string guard is made of a plastic material that's a little bit hard, so you can get noises when you move it. So you want to think about sort of, if you want to move from string to string and not just sustaining on one string, you may think about maybe hammering on the string you want to go to sort of disguise the noises that can be made. This is like learning a new technique on guitar. You have to get used to it. So be gentle, right? The last thing I want to talk about is placement of the string sustainer here. If you place the Eon roughly around the 24th fret, the easiest place to get the string to sustain is here on the 12th fret, but that's not a practical place to place it. So place it around here, around where the neck pickup would be, or the 24th fret on your guitar. It's not practical to place it over the fretboard, so just right after the fretboard is a good place to place it. Right, so yeah. And then if you play above the 12th fret, maybe you want to move the Eon a little bit closer to the middle pickup. So another thing that you want to think about is if you have selected the neck pickup and you place, especially with single coils, and you place the Eon above it and move it around, you get this unwanted noise from the magnetic field, I guess, and from the interaction. So you might want to select the bridge pickup in this case, because you won't be using the Eon in that area. So, if you place it down here, you will get the same noise So that's just a thing to think about when using the Eon. The way the Eon works is that it has two coils. Let me turn this down. It has two coils. So one coil pretty much works like a microphone. The other coil works to sustain whatever it's hearing with a microphone. So if there is no vibration on the string, it's next to impossible to get it started. But if there's just a slight, let me turn the guitar back up. If there's just a slight vibration on the string, it's very easy to get started. One last thing, if you want to do bends with I bend the string up so it hits the Eon. That's not very good. It hits this bottom plate here. So if you pull it, if you pull it back, oh, messed up. That's a good thing to try out. All right, guys. So these were just my 4 little things to go over, 4 pieces of advice or whatever you want to call it when getting started with an Eon string sustainer. So I hope you can use it for something. I hope you enjoyed it and try it out. And like me, try to improve your playing.